Alright guys, welcome back to Frugal Homestead, and today we're talking about solar generators. In fact, we're talking about the Oupes or Oupes. I'm calling it Oupes for the video. I don't know how you pronounce it. But we're going to talk about their warranty program and how this played out for me. Now, these are all my opinions, but I'm going to tell you factually how I went about dealing with this and how the outcome came out. Now, for some context, 25 months ago I bought the 600. That was pretty close to when it came out. It was $299, and I have been compiling footage and using it all kinds of different ways since I got it. I used it in this tiny house we're sitting in before I got electricity down here. This is what charged all my batteries and ran all my lights. It actually built this house, you could say, until I got electric down here. Now I also take it with us. I have a 12-volt cooler refrigerator we take on vacations all the time. It went to a trip in Kentucky. It went to a trip in Myrtle Beach. I also use this in our tiny camper in order to run the lights through a cigarette lighter. Now, we have a lot of power outages here because I live in the country, so I've also used it many times for that. If you've seen any of our little commercial videos, in our videos for Connecten internet, you'll see that I'm outside running the router for that internet off this. Alright, so this thing has been used so many times in so many different ways. My wife, on their way to go backpacking, has stored food in the back of the car in that cooler running off this. There's so many different ways that it can be useful and helpful in your everyday life. I actually have taken it out in the woods to work on stuff out in the woods like our deer stands. It's just an amazing thing to have. But when you don't have it, it sucks. So at the 25th month, I was getting ready to film the video for this. I plugged it in my house with the power brick and went outside to fill the wood burner. Alright, I was kiln drying lumber out there. I come back in, I smell a burning smell, and I'm like, did I throw some plastic in the wood burner by accident or something? What's going on? And then I realized getting closer to this, after smelling a fan, smelling different things in the house to find out the TV maybe had smoked or something, because you know that burning electrical smell. You got to find it because there's something wrong. It ended up, this is what was making the smell. And I knew there was problems right away. I unplugged the power brick. All right. Smelled the power brick, no smell. The odor was coming from this. So I could not get it to turn on after that. I couldn't get it to do anything. And at first I thought, well, maybe the board's bad. Maybe the face display went out because it won't turn on at all. So I tried holding the buttons, nothing. So I plugged the power brick into the side for a second and I heard the fan spool up like it does every time you plug the power brick in. It spooled up, seemed fine, but it wasn't charging. Nothing was happening. So after some more testing, I finally said, let's go see if it's something about the power brick. So I went outside and plugged a solar panel into it. Nothing. I tried turning the light on. Nothing. So finally I broke down and I contacted the Amazon seller through Amazon's messaging service, which is an absolute nightmare, guys. And I said, look guys, this is what happened. Are we still under warranty? And they said, it's a 3-year warranty. Yes, you're still under warranty. Did you plug it in? And all I could do was laugh and send a message back and said, yes. I said, I've got video showing different things and ways I've tested it. I've got all kinds of things. Is there a way to communicate outside of this? And every time I try and put an email or something in, Amazon would automatically, delete it off. So finally they ended up emailing me and said that the unit needed to be tested in different ways. They told me a couple different things. Plug it in, leave it plugged in for 6 hours, maybe it's dead. I mean, they got to do this because some people just don't understand how electronics works. So you got to go through this part and just deal with it. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. Finally, I told the guy, I've already done all this stuff. I got the videos to show you. Just let me send you those so I can stop dealing with it. I said, I got a cruise coming up. I don't have time for this. And he said, let me connect you with the warehouse. What's going to happen is he'll probably ask you some more questions. But You need to send the unit back to us. You pay the shipping. We check it out. If there's something wrong, we'll replace it. If it was something that was us or product, which it sounds like it is, we'll replace it. I said, okay. They said, if you want, you can buy the label from us because it's cheaper than going to the post office. So I PayPal'd them $58 to send this back. I had all the original boxing, everything, okay? Then the guy from the warehouse gets a hold of me. We go through some quick testing emails, and I tell him I'm going on a cruise. We need to solve this issue. And he said, it's going to be a wait because these are out of stock. He said, we're not even going to get the shipment started to send until the 18th, which at that time was, close to like 3 weeks out. And I was like, that's not good. But as I read down the email more, he offered the $1,200. Now I've already paid them to return this one. So I'm thinking, okay, I still have to return this one, but I'm going to get this one at a discount. Now this one's not cheap, and I knew that they weren't going to give me some sale price like you see it on Amazon now. So as I continued reading the email, he said this one's $299 when you bought it. This one's $500 right now, because I wasn't going to get any sale prices, and I knew that. So he subtracted the difference. It made it $200. All right. Then he said, I'll give you a discount, which knocked it down to $150. Now I'm still thinking I'm paying $150 and sending this one back for the $58 I already paid. And I'm starting to look at the numbers and I'm like, it's not great. It's not terrible. And then he let me know that, no, you don't have to send this back anymore. The $58's already been credited. You pay the $92 or whatever it is to get this one. All right, so basically I paid $150 and they upgraded me to this free shipping. Now, that is standing behind the product. Now, I do believe, don't quote me on this, but I do believe that now that I've gotten this on a warranty, it is only a 24-month warranty on this one, which I still think is really, really, really fair. But I still have this one, and for most people, maybe that's not that great of a thing. But I am going to open this up and find out what's wrong. But I would almost bet that it's a wiring issue or a board issue in there. I'm going to try and test the components and figure out which one's bad. But I would guess, unless there's something wrong with the battery, of course, is savable in this. Now, let's talk about this, because this is a lot bigger than this and a lot heavier. And I'll be doing a review on this one once I get to put it through its paces. But I can tell you now, this one wouldn't run my air conditioner. This one will. All right, that's a big difference. Now, I probably could have asked him if I wanted to go up to the 1800, but what I realized about the 1800 is the 1200 here is much lighter and easier to deal with. This is about as much as I want my wife lugging around for any real distance. Or if we're at a campsite where you got to walk back in, this is about as much as we want to mess around with carrying, you know what I mean? That was the original reasoning behind getting the 600, because it's light and easy to carry. If you've got to carry it, a quarter mile back to a private campsite or something, or if you need to take it out in the woods, it's not a big deal. I would have loved to have the 1800, but So where we're at with this warranty process is I want you guys to understand that a lot of companies say they'll do things, but when they actually do it, those are the companies you want to do business with, because they're ready to deal with any issues or problems right from the get-go. There's a lot of competition in this space. I think there's a lot of brands that throw a product out there, try and make some money, and then they disappear. Now, as I call them, Oupes has been around for years, guys. And they're putting the products out. They're making new technology, newer style stuff, and they're continuing to improve. And now I'm sitting here showing you that they're backing up their warranties. So lots of people do reviews on these, and maybe they've had them for a month or two. I was on 25 months when I was going to get my review. Not only because I'm busy, but I wanted to have it a test feature where we had it in all kinds of crazy conditions and things. I still have not figured out what's wrong with it. When we crack it open, I think we're going to find something. But it may be as simple as the wire going from the charger in burnt in half. You know, it could be that the power brick surged. I don't know. I really don't understand what could have gone wrong. The charge controller could have gave out. Who knows? We will find out someday. I'm not promising it's going to be anytime soon. But you have to ask yourself the price point on these and the value play of knowing that 25 months in, you can get replaced. Not only that, if they don't have what you need in stock, they're going to give you a good deal on upgrading you. I mean, I couldn't ask for more. And they moved it along, expedited it, got everything done so that I was able to go on my cruise and not worry about when this thing's coming or if this is going to be dealt with before. It really comes to a point of business practices. And solar is one that you either have excellent business practices or you have horrible business practices. So I think that it's important to put these kind of videos that put the real life stories out there so that people can make good informed decision. Because if you've had this thing for a month and you're running around saying, it's great, it's great, it's great, and then it ends up blowing up 6 months later, then what? Everybody's going out and buying this and it's just blowing up. That's not a good thing. I think that for the price value, I mean, I built most of the house you're looking at before we got power down here with this thing. I mean, I worked it daily. It was down here in drywall dust. It was down here in moisture. Could that be a part of the issue? We'll find out someday. But I definitely was not easy or nice to this thing. And I was holding back to do a review long term for you. Now I feel a little more comfortable that here in a few months I can do a nice in-depth review of this and be able to give you guys some honest feedback on it. They've proven themselves to me. I think they are worth investing your money in. I think they're a company that's going to stand behind their product, which is more than I can say about most companies nowadays. So, if you haven't already, and I don't know why you wouldn't have, go down in the links below or the pinned comment if you want links to these to learn more about them. I will also leave the link to their website down in the description box. And on top of that, if you haven't already, and I don't know why you wouldn't have, guys, go down, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you see all of our upcoming videos. Make sure you give us a like and keep your eye out for more content because we have to choose a solar battery for our tiny house soon. And we've got a couple of them we're bringing to you to take a look at, and will give us our initial impressions of what we think of them. And then as time goes on, you'll get to see who we're going with to build this system. I'll see you guys in the next one.